All right, now we move over to the NBA. With the NBA draft happening tonight, you know what that means. We getting some spicy trade rumors, then we getting some actual trades. We got some, DC, Los Angeles connections. We got some Philly to Golden State connections, and then we got some connections that have happened already. We know that the Grizzlies they made a trade with the Pelicans. Eric Bledsoe, Steven Adams heading off to Memphis, and then we got Jonas Valanciunas coming down to the good old boot state in New Orleans. A bunch of trades within that. So with that said, Jay, how do you from the rumors and the actual trades, which one moves the needle for you the most at this point right now?
Well, obviously, if I had to pick one that moves the needle right now, I mean, I guess the Grizzlies Pelicans trade kind of interests me because I'm always gonna look at the Grizzlies and Pelicans kind of because the Zion John Morant thing where they got drafted. And it's kind of neat that they're kind of involved in a trade together to where you have actual pieces moving. Uh, my gut feeling on that trade was I thought the Pelicans made out well because I think Valanciunas is probably the player I most want to have. Between him, Eric Bledsoe, and Steven Adams. But the Grizzlies, you look at the picks that they got some good compensation. They're going to get the 10th pick tonight, also the 40th pick, and they're going to get a protected first round pick next season. So, and plus, Steven Adams, you flip him for Valanciunas. I mean, I think you lose a little bit offensively with Steven Adams, but I think Steven Adams is a little bit better on defense. So maybe not the worst of things. I don't love the Eric Bledsoe side of it, but I think there might be something to the thing we talked about earlier. I can't anticipate we actually see a John Morant, Eric Bledsoe backcourt. And I think the guy he's still got to be on the Bucks contract that he signed, if I had to guess. So he probably gonna get on out of here, and he probably gonna just have to start over with a fairly reasonable deal somewhere else. So that's something. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how that shakes out once the season starts. But some of these rumors are pretty outlandish, and I think I'll let you. I'll leave the Russell Westbrook stuff to you because I think you're dying to get into that. But which is fine because I just pulled up this report on the Ben Simmons stuff to Golden State, and I really would like to know what Daryl Moore is doing because I don't know this is crazy, and this is from the Philadelphia Inquirer. The first sentence of this article from the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is a hometown newspaper for the Philadelphia 76ers, they're in the neighborhood. The Golden State Warriors basically assumed the 76ers offer was a joke. The Philadelphia 76ers thought they could get Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, the 7th and 14th pick in tonight's draft, and two future first-round picks for Ben Simmons.
Yo, it's so disrespectful.
Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and 4 first-round picks. What is going on? And then you come down a little bit more. One league executive said the Sixers are making, quote, totally outlandish offers. I can't disagree with him because that sounds like a load of nonsense. You said it, I believe, before we got on here. Yeah, that seemed like some Anthony Davis stuff. But I mean, you look at this, and what I gotta believe is, maybe a year or two ago, you could maybe have suckered somebody into this because the Ben Simmons potential, people may have still been kind of enamored with it. I think that's kind of over. I think when you have a guy in Ben Simmons who, I mean, the guy really, in my eyes, I haven't seen much improvement. He basically looked like the same player he's looked for the past couple of years, and that's just not good enough. There used to be the whole Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons debate, like who would you trade? And there ain't no debate no more. Ben Simmons is on the block, and Joel Embiid is an MVP caliber player. In my mind, he was the best player in basketball this season in the regular season. I'm glad that Golden State was like, no, get this out of here. This is ridiculous. And I don't really think like you use Wiggins, you lose Wiseman, and you give up that many picks. I just don't think, they went through some tough times, with Kevin Durant. They didn't have no picks, so they probably not that eager to go back to that route because you got to think Golden State got to look, they got to be somewhat forward thinking as Steph and Clay and Draymond age, so I think that was the right move. And then another trade apparently that the Sixers tried to make was they asked for Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OJ Anunoby, and the fourth pick tonight from Toronto. Masai Ujiri, no, guys, we're not doing that. That's too much. So if they really want to move Ben Simmons, they're gonna have to get real, for lack of a better term. They're gonna have to get real and understand that I don't think the league or people around the league view Ben Simmons the way maybe the Sixers view Ben Simmons. Like, they're gonna have to come back to earth and realize, like, this guy, for all his strengths, there's some major weaknesses that he has not been able to correct in his game, which is why he's not going to demand some king's ransom.
Listen, this might be a reach, but this shows sound like some of that Clutch Sports madness right here. This sound like Clutch Sports. Rich Paul name all over this. Listen, I gotta think Rich Paul. This gotta be something he's pulling. This outlandish. Like, I think he values his age. I mean, he values his clients a lot, and this is eerily like parallel to what the Pelicans asked for Anthony Davis. The problem was Anthony Davis is kind of worth it. I mean, injuries aside, he was kind of worth it. Ben Simmons is not. I do foresee the Philadelphia 76ers pulling back a little bit. They're going to pull something. They're going to knock it off. I think they're trying to do what they can do to see if they can make a deal stick before the NBA draft back. Once the draft is over with, I think they're gonna knock it off. They're gonna tone it down a little bit. And to answer the question you asked, what is Daryl Morey doing? Clearly, he's out here hanging out with J.R. Smith. Because if you thought any team was gonna bite on these deals, you drinking on the job, buddy. You are drinking on the job. Because these deals was out of control. It's almost as if they want teams to say no. So they could say, oh, well, we put them on the trading block. We asked for what we think a, all-star player, all defensive player, et cetera, et cetera. This is what you should get for him. And they know it's outrageous. And then they're just going to run it back and be like, all right, hey, look, Ben, we believe in you. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was kind of acting like we want to get rid of you, but we didn't. Please come through for us. Please, can you please practice those free throws? Please practice shooting a three. I didn't say make it, just shoot it.
And also in the ear of Doc Rivers, like, hey, Doc, get him out there, Doc. This is what we're paying you. Come on, man.
And right, Doc, could you please stop eating them Popeyes biscuits? Could you please use water with them joints? Can you? Something else that happened that I just wanted to throw out. We was talking about this before we got on this segment. The Nets traded Landry Shamet to the Suns for Javon Carter in the 29th pick. I do think the Nets won that trade. Listen, Landry Shamet wasn't what they thought they was getting from the Clippers. Let's just be real. He didn't come up like they thought he was. I actually did pay attention to Javon Carter when he got an opportunity to play. It wasn't very many minutes for him in the playoff run, but he got in every now and then. I like what I saw out the young fella. And the Nets do get a pick back in the first round, the end of the first round, but still a first round pick. So I like that. So I wanted to throw that out there. Now, I was on board when the Lakers said, hey, let's go out here and get DeMar Rosen. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of DeMar Rosen, but I can see the value in that. Okay, cool. Hey, man, let's think about doing this trade for Chris Paul. Don't think it's going to happen, but okay, I can live with that. What if we can get Bradley Beal? Oh, you want to get him from DC? Cool. Nah, scratch that. We want Russ. All right, okay. Okay, you want to get Russ? All right, shoot. I mean, that's easy. We just give up Montrezl Harrell, do a swap for swap, call it a day. You know, no big deal. Nah, that's not how NBA contracts work. You got to make the money match. Do you know Westbrook is owed $44 million for the 21-22 season?
Still on a big contract, yeah.
$44 million. The only way you legitimately match that contract without clearing out the roster is if you're giving up LeBron and AD. We know that's not happening. So let's move on from that saga, right? So in that trade, they're willing to give up Kuzma, Harrell, KCP, and a 2021 first round pick. For Westbrook? I must be living under a rock lately. Because I want to know how in the hell Westbrook supposed to solve the problems that the Lakers got. They can't shoot threes, and their two stars' best game is predicated around the rim. Oh, well, you know, Westbrook, his game is predicated around the rim, too. Okay. So where does the shooting come from? If you get, listen, Kuzma, I'm not making no excuses. His performance wasn't good this year, but he still can shoot a three from time to time. KCP, he can shoot a three from time to time. But you're gonna go and get a $44 million guy, and I'm just speaking of 21, 22. You don't even want to know what he's getting from 22 to 23. Like, you're gonna get rid of shooting, which LeBron needs shooting. LeBron been needing shooting since 2007 Cavaliers team. So you're going to get rid of shooting. Then you're going to get rid of defense. I must have been sleeping on that too, because I guess Westbrook, he all defensive player too. I guess his defense is spectacular too. Because, I mean, at least KCP was giving you that. Kuzma will give you that from night to night. Hell, even Harrell will give you something on the defense side. I don't understand what this Westbrook to Lakers thing is. Somebody please help me. He's a point guard that can't shoot, that got bad knees, that he don't have a conscience. He don't know the temperature of the room. So he's going to shoot. He's going to leave LeBron over there getting spider webs. AD going to get frustrated because he's not going to touch the ball. What are we doing here, Lakerland? God, Rob Pelinka, what are we doing here? What are y'all trying to be Green Bay? Is this a Green Bay thing? Is this whole we're gonna ignore the star and we're gonna do? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong subject. We got that later on, folks. We're gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But listen. With that said, I don't understand what the Lakers trying to. I really hope this is not going to be finalized, but it seems like it's very close to being finalized. I don't like it. I'm on the record saying I don't like it. I just think I would rather see Kyle Lowry come in the picture. I would rather see, Bradley Beal, DeMar DeRozan. It's so many other names that I would rather see. I don't give a rip that Westbrook is a former MVP. I don't give a rip that he a Hall of Famer. I don't give a flying boop that he's Mr. Triple-Double. That has no bearing on this team. And I don't think it's going to help them. When the last time Russell Westbrook was effective? When KD was there? When KD was with him in OKC? When the last team you watch Westbrook and you like, man, hey, listen, that team don't win without Westbrook. Or he put that team on his I'm sorry. I'm not saying it. Oh, and by the way, he's not that great from the free throw line either. So, all that said, I don't know what the Lakers doing. They went out and, in your words, went out and got a sample size LeBron. But he don't bring you, half of the stuff that LeBron brings you. So with that said, man, listen, I'm out on that. That rumor, that got your boy a little chapped up. I had to put some Vaseline back there a little bit earlier because I don't know what we doing here in Lakers land. So
yeah, I think, just to add on to this Russell Westbrook, I'm also not enamored with this. I think the Lakers really, if you look at them, and I think you'd agree, the Lakers could be back they could have been back in the NBA Finals with this same exact crew. It's just Anthony Davis couldn't stay on the floor. That's what happened. Like, so it seems like this is the only thing I can think of it is, it's like, okay, let's look around. Like, what team has the best three players? Maybe Brooklyn. Brooklyn might have the best trio on earth with KD, James Harden, and Kyrie. And Rob Pelinka is like, man, what if we could get the best three players? And he's like, oh, I got it, Russell Westbrook. Because I on its face, the combination of LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook is very interesting. And it's like, I don't know. That trio, I think, is more star power than what Brooklyn has. But in practice.
Okay, so I agree with you. If offensively, Brooklyn trio would be better. I think defensively, the Lakers trio would be better. But
I think it's something to debate. But as far as pure star power, I think I'd take LeBron, AD, and Westbrook over KD, Harden, and Kyrie. But in practice, I don't love it because for the reasons you gave, particularly like LeBron, his whole career, when he's had the most success, it's been like you surrounded him with shooters because LeBron initiates the action. He runs the point guard or the point forward or whatever you call it. And, he drives the lane. He does better when you have space, when you have to put defenders in a choice. Like, do you want to help and try to contain LeBron off the dribble? Or you going to give up wide open threes, or you let LeBron play one-on-one? Westbrook's not going to help with that. He's going to make the decision easier. Nobody's taking Westbrook seriously from behind the 3-point line. So if Westbrook's on the floor, he's going to be just standing at the 3-point line. Or is LeBron going to be spotting up from three? I mean, LeBron can shoot threes, but I don't know if you want that. And then, I mean, at some point, like, LeBron's not going to play. He's not going to play that much longer. So the Lakers got to be, much like I said, Golden State, they're going to be somewhat forward thinking. The Lakers have to do that as well. And trading away Kyle Kuzma, who is like the only dude you bothered to keep around in the Anthony Davis trade. And then Montrezl Harrell, I mean, I still look at Montrezl Harrell and I think, like, I mean, the guy just won the Sixth Man of the Year last year and was like an absolute beast on the inside. And all of a sudden he can't find time on the floor. But that's an awful lot to give up to a guy who I don't think fits the Lakers all that well. And as we've discussed previously, I don't think his game is going to age particularly well. It's exciting, and like everyone admires the tenacity that he plays with every play, and the motor and all of that. And of course, the statistics that he puts up are second to none. But I think in practice, it's not the best move. I don't like that. I don't like this move for the Lakers. I'd be interested in Bradley Beal, even though I'm just reading some things that it doesn't look like Beal wants to leave Washington. So although you got to think, it almost, to me, in this situation, it's almost like Houston last year when they traded Westbrook to Washington. We kind of knew that, okay, James Harden's got to go too. It just don't make sense to keep one of them. And that's the same thing I think here. If Westbrook is going to go, I think Bradley Beal's got to go. But I guess we'll see. We'll stay tuned on the trade talk.